Welcome. Welcome to this edition of What Matters, and I'm glad to have you here this evening with me. Today's guest is Simone Walsh. Welcome, Simone.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to have you on. And Simone is a mental health advocate, an author. Hold on, I gotta give the plug. Poetic Diary of a Bleeding Heart by Simone Walsh. And she's also the founder of the
Charity, Essence of Mind outreach program, which is in support of mental health.
Which is in support of mental health. So before I get into Simone's story of what brought her to this point of founding a charity, writing a book, what would you give me the definition of a mental health advocate? What does a mental health advocate do? Because as you guys know, there are a lot of things that I'm into, and one of them is definitions. People throw around words a lot. Things get catchy, things become buzzwords, and then all of a sudden everybody's a life coach, everybody's an advocate. So tell me, Simone, for you, what is a mental health advocate?
Well, to me, a mental health advocate is someone that speaks about mental health and they fight for those who are basically ashamed and hidden behind the stigma. We speak mental health, we breathe mental health, we just promote conversation, trying to normalize it. So for me, that's what mental health is all about. It's not just being an advocate in one place, but it's everywhere, every organization. I'm an advocate at work, outside of work, in my family, events. I just speak it.
Health
Correct.
issues.
Yes.
Now, another word, and mental health also is a word that I hear a lot. You hear mental health, mental health. And what's interesting is that even the most basic mental health, right? Those words are
those
words we
words.
understand. People then it seems like the meaning gets lost.
Yes.
Like I had seen a post where this woman said, this man with mental health had assaulted somebody, and I was like, that doesn't even make sense. A man with mental health,
Yeah, because we all have
like
mental health.
right?
Yes.
Or we have mental illness or some level of mental health. It's like physical health,
Yes.
right? And mental health is really, you want to be mentally healthy, and mental illness is exactly that, an illness of the mind.
Correct.
And so I think that really paying attention to what you say and what it means is very important. Now, what brought you, mental health advocate, and you said something very important, which we're definitely going to touch on, is the stigma.
Stigma is huge.
Lots of stigma around mental health. But I would say, and you'll let me know if you agree, that over the years it's gotten much better.
Correct. We can talk about it. Before
Yes.
it was more of a hush hush, put under the rug, and now people can come out openly and talk about it. Like Bell Let's Talk. They're doing all these
Yes.
campaigns. People are just trying to see it now more in the media and just responding to it in a positive way.
Yes.
So yeah, it's getting there.
And especially within our community, within the Black community, within the Caribbean community, this was completely taboo,
Yes.
even 20 years ago, right?
Definitely.
It was unspeakable. No one spoke about it. And at best you get something like, Uncle so-and-so ain't too right.
Exactly.
That would be
Mad
the
man or mad woman.
mad,
It's like,
mad in my head. Like,
Please.
and oftentimes it would be linked with spirituality,
Yes.
duppies and possessed. And so really no understanding and therefore no sympathy, no support with
Exactly.
those with mental health issues. And so, Simone, tell me what brought you to, I know from experience that being the founder of anything, any business adventure, especially a charity,
Yes.
is quite the undertaking.
Yes.
So what
it is.
made you dedicate your time and your energy, and I am sure your money, to this charity? And say the name of your charity again.
Essence of Mind outreach program.
Outreach program. And so, okay, tell me how this started. What brought you to founding Essence of Mind
Essence of
Outreach?
Mind. Well, I was there. I was on the other side, basically, and just being, I guess, a victim of systematic harassment and bullying. It sent me into depression and anxiety, and so I suffered with that in silence for years. I never told anybody what I was going through until my doctor just straight out diagnosed me. And I was afraid. I said I have to go home and tell my family that I have anxiety, depression. My background is Jamaican, and so the stigma right away, I thought they were just going to be like, shake it off.
Yeah,
You don't have
exactly.
that stuff. Come on, snap
Shake
out
it.
of
Yeah,
it.
shake it off.
Exactly. And so I went through it and sought help, treatment, came out of it, and realized that while I was going through it, I couldn't get help. It was so hard to see a counselor, a psychotherapist. The waiting lists were so long, like 6 months. And I'm like, by the time you see this
Wow.
doctor, you're at a worse state than you were. And so I mentioned it to my mom. I said, I want to do something. I want to start something. I think I wanted to just do a foundation just with my name and just do events. And then she was like, why not go bigger, do a charity? And I was like, I don't know. That's a lot of work. But I looked into how a charity would operate and, the details of what it would need. And I said, all right, we're going to do a charity. So it was hard to get a charity. It's not easy, the paperwork and who to speak
Yes.
to. We got denied a lot of times. They were like, no, no, no. And I'm
No.
like, okay, forget it. We can't do it. But finally, our third attempt, they said, all right, you got everything in order. We were granted our charity number. And I said, okay. So we have our board, we have a planning committee that plans our annual fundraising gala. We do seminars, usually in the month of May to encourage Mental Health Awareness Month. We do speaking engagements where I go out into the community. I speak in schools, I speak in workplaces, and our mission is to help families and individuals seek support with getting help with a mental illness. So if you're looking for a counselor, we find out what area you're in, and we say these are the counselors that you can see. If you need to get into programs, we let you know, and we put that on ourselves. We get you into help faster than waiting for that long. So that's how it started. Me being in the system, seeing that this just doesn't
It
work.
was broken.
It was
It
broken.
was
What can I do
broken.
to fix this? And when I finally got better, I then said, I'm going to be the change that I want to see. And
Amazing.
there's essence of mine.
That is amazing. Now you mentioned that this started with bullying. Now was this in school? Was this in work?
I know. When you think of bullying, a lot of people think that's in school, but it happens in the workplace as well. And mine
It's
was that's where it happened. And it's hard to prove. It's not school where you can run to the teacher or get your parents to come. This is professional adults working environment. And so at the time, I didn't know that's what it was called. I was just thinking, I'm just not liked. This person just has it in for me. But when my doctor gave it a name, and I was like, at work? Really?
right. And you were experiencing it, and you still didn't
Yeah,
look at it that way. You still
exactly.
didn't understand that that's what it was. And that's another word, another buzzword I find that is thrown around a lot.
Yeah,
Bullying.
bullying
And people will even take people disagreeing with them
as
as bullying.
bullying.
But that is not the case. And Simone, can you explain what bullying is, what that entails?
Bullying is an unwelcome behavior. Like you're putting an unwelcome, unnecessary behavior onto somebody. They don't want that. They don't need that, and it causes vexatious behavior. Basically, that's what I experienced. It was things that was happening, such as verbal abuse, negative words, saying you're just stupid, you don't understand it, you just
At
don't get it.
work?
At work.
Wow.
Things like that. And I put my job before my health. I just thought, nah, it's just today. They're having a bad day. Tomorrow
It's
will
the
be
Jamaican
better.
in me.
And so it was just unwelcoming. And bullying is just repetitive. It happens over and
and over
over.
and it's and why I made that little comment about it's the Jamaican in her is because Caribbeans are known well, I guess it depends on who you ask, but they
Yeah.
are known for working multiple jobs
Multiple
and putting
jobs.
their jobs before it. And I think on a lot of the American comedy shows,
Yeah.
there's always a Jamaican that is on his like fourth
Yeah.
job. That's like the underlying joke. And so you saying that you put your work before your mental
Yeah.
health, I think that's common, and it really isn't a thing about race. I think it's about how our society is set up and where we place our values. So when we get back from this break, we're going to be speaking with Simone some more about her book, her charity, and I also too want to speak to her a little bit more about her treatment and how she really got on the other side. So when we come back from this break, we will be speaking some more about mental health.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Welcome back to this edition of What Matters, and I'm here today with Simone Walsh, mental health advocate, author, and founder of a charity called the
Essence of Mind Outreach Program.
Essence of Mind Outreach Program. And I really have to commend you because I found out a bit about nonprofits and charities, and the paperwork is tremendous.
It's tremendous.
The paperwork is tremendous. So for you to, and you said you were stalled, you were denied, you were told no, and yet you pushed forward.
Kept going.
You kept going. And that was with the prompting of your mother, right?
Yes.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
It's wonderful when you do have support.
Support.
Now, there is the, I think in general society, there has always been a stigma about mental health, and I'm very glad to see that the tide is changing and it's turning, and things like Bell Talk.
Yes.
People complaining about the thing. It's like, just ignore it or press on it and get the 10 cents to the people who need it, right? But especially in our culture, especially in the Black culture, there's this extra layer of stigma because, like you said, you're supposed to shake it off and get over it and keep going and just deal with it. And at first, you didn't have the support.
No.
So you had the support nowhere, your doctor diagnosed you, and so now what was the next step? Were you supposed to take time away from work? Were you taught jiu-jitsu? Were you supposed to fight the bullies? Like, how did this work?
Well, his first step, he asked me, what's going on at work? What's causing this? Because I mentioned my symptoms and everything, loss of sleep, loss of appetite. I don't want to go out with my friends. I'm just in my room. I'm crying all the time and little things like that I was just like, nah. He was like, yeah, depression and anxiety. Tell me what's going on at work. So I mentioned the behaviors and the verbal abuse, and he was like, yep, that's where it's coming from. So 2 things need to happen. One, you need to either come off work or switch departments right away. Or this is going to escalate into something bigger. You're going to break. It's going to snap you. I didn't take it to heart. I just thought, nah, it's whatever he's saying. And so I continued to work. I didn't listen to my doctor. I didn't switch departments. And I didn't take time off work. Yeah. Listen to your doctor. If your doctor tells you to do something, listen. I think at the time I was young and it was a job that I really loved, and I felt like I was being pushed out of it. And so I said, I'm not going anywhere.
Right. You wanted to maintain your position in the job. Okay.
And so I continued to work, and he was right. It continued to happen, and I snapped. I had my first attempt at ending my life, and that led me to being off work right then and there.
Of course.
Right then and there. And when we went to see him, my family came and they told him what had happened, that I was trying to hurt myself. And he says, yep, I told you, you would snap. I was like, yeah, you did. I didn't listen to you. So it's important to know the signs and listen to the signs and respond to them. Had I known these things, earlier, it would have went differently, I think. And so my family then saw that it was serious. It's not just a diagnosis, but there are things happening on the inside. What can we do to help her? At first, my dad was not supportive at all. He's like a real hardcore Jamaican. He was like, nothing is wrong with you. Shake it off. We don't get that stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we don't get that stuff. You're immune.
And my mom, who's a nurse, right away understood, and she was more, supportive. over time, my dad then educated himself on what is a mental illness, what does it look like, what is anxiety that he says she has, what is depression, and he then knew how to, help me. They came to all my doctor's appointments with me.
Wonderful.
Yeah, any little thing. I remember my first time when I came out of my room because I was isolated, and I came down the stairs. They were watching TV and they heard me coming down and they muted the TV. They're like, wait, somebody's coming down the stairs. And I came down the stairs and they started jumping up and clapping like it was a basketball game. I was like, what? They're like, you came out of your room. Oh my gosh. So the little things that we take so lightly, it was a big deal for them because they're like, she's getting better. That's a sign.
Right.
She came out of her room. Tomorrow, we're going to go outside of the house.
Right.
So it was me coming out of my darkness, slowly trying to get back into society.
That's amazing. And it's wonderful to hear that your parents were supportive
Very.
because I'm sure through your program, through your charity, you've encountered a lot of times when people are truly alone.
Yes.
And the thing is with depression is that no matter how many people you're surrounded by, but that really love you, you feel alone. Anyways, now imagine if that's the actual reality.
Exactly.
And there's no one reaching out. There's no one waiting on the other end. So initiatives like these are really
Very
important.
crucial.
They're crucial. As you said, they're crucial. And something I love, what matters is about what matters. And what matters in our communities. And when I say our communities, obviously we're based in Toronto, and I do focus on this community here, but the community at large, we're all interlocked. It all goes together. And thinking that this one segment exists on its own and it doesn't affect anything else is crazy. It really, everything is interlocked. And what I love are the people like Simone who see a problem and instead of just complaining about it, because we can all complain. I mean, open up your Facebook. People are very, very good at complaining and stating opinions. But what are you going to do about it? And she saw something broken in the system because she got put in it. So now you're bullied at work. First of all, you don't even know you're being bullied.
No.
And when you're told you're being bullied, that's not possible because I'm an adult and I'm at work.
Exactly.
And these are other adults. So they're just rude, right? And they're not bullying me because bullying is what you do in the schoolyard.
Exactly.
And then the doctor said, no, you're being bullied and you're depressed and you need to take some time off for social departments. And she said, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. And off she went back to work, being, the good, strong person and sucking it up, which is what you're supposed to do. And now you go back to work and they keep on doing it. There's verbal harassment, there's belittling. And I find this incredible. But then again, I've worked in some pretty big institutions and I've seen some crazy things. And as you said, as your doctor had foresaw, you snapped. And that led to a suicide attempt. So now you're on the other side of this. And I'm sure because at the time that this happened, your father had a certain mindset about it, right?
Yes.
That was nonsense.
Exactly.
And so you were continuing with more nonsense. But how beautiful is it that her father took the time to learn about it and to understand, and you had an understanding parent. So now she's coming out of her room. And as you said, when you're depressed, isolation, nothing's the same. And nothing's the same. So little things are big steps. And we're going to have to go to break in a second, but Carol Lee Parks, if you're watching, one of my first guests was a lady named Carol Lee. You know Carol Lee?
I know Carol Lee.
Carol Lee's so awesome. And Carol Lee suffered from very bad depression, and she said brushing your teeth was a triumph.
Telling you.
So keep that in mind. Everything is really relevant. So, of course, we run out of time because we talk a lot. We will be back after this break, and we will continue on summarizing the situation and telling you how to get help, what the symptoms are, what you can do, how you can help others, because we're all about solutions. We will be back after this message.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Welcome back. You guys caught me off guard. Welcome back to this edition of What Matters. I'm here today with mental health advocate, founder of the Essence of Mind outreach program, and author.
Yes.
Simone Walsh, and there's her book up on the screen. And today we're talking about mental health, helping the community, and doing what matters. So as I was summarizing before the commercial and doing it really briefly, you're a victim of bullying at work. Yes, at work. Yes, by adults. It does happen. It does happen. And it's not because you're weak. People put together systems, especially for the new people, right? It is systematic. You get into a system that already exists, and they're all there waiting for you. And it's almost like a football game where they toss and this one catches, and it's a system. So she was bullied. It brought her to the point of breaking, even though she was advised that she should stop. She continued on, as strong people do, and it almost broke her. Attempted suicide. Was then, now obviously now this is pushing you a little bit quicker through the system, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like if you are a victim of violence, if they almost kill you, then they start to kind of pay attention, right?
That's right.
So unfortunately, when you seek help at a critical level, how many months did you say the waiting lists were?
6
months. 6 months. Now, I am right now suffering from situational depression, which is unlike chronic depression.
Okay.
And situational depression is by a situation. Something happens in your life that's very sad, and you are sad, and it makes sense, but you're still depressed.
About
and from this experience, for me, I think about people who suffer with chronic depression, like Carol Lee, and they are amazing. For you to get up every day and keep going after months and years of feeling like that, I really have to give you a hand, because it is so heavy. It is.
Yeah, it's like a dark cloud that's just following you.
It's almost impossible to do anything. So when Carol Lee was saying that brushing her teeth, like, when you get up one day and you groom yourself, and I don't mean like makeup, I'm talking bathe,
even to get out of the bed is a big deal. Just to get out of the bed
is a big deal.
Yeah.
So now after the suicide attempt, what was, because you said after I went through treatment, this is when I realized like the system was broken. So what was your treatment? What did they do for you?
My treatment involved me going into an adult day treatment program. I was there for 3 months, and it was a group setting. I wasn't by myself. There was other individuals, different walks of life that was there, different diagnoses. And my first day, I actually cried. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in madhouse. I was like, I shouldn't be here. I need to get out. I still didn't accept my diagnosis, but I was like, okay, you're here, let's get better. And so that treatment program is a group of nurses, doctors, psychologists. They meet with you and they do education on medications, different meds. So when your doctor prescribes you something, you know what it does. You can say, no, I won't be taking that one. Thanks, but no.
Right.
Because you know the side effects. And it's good to know that, because doctors will just write you things and give it to you. You're like, okay, I'll take it, which is like trial and error.
Do
not do that.
Ask questions always.
All the time.
As she said, she's a mental health advocate, and you have to always advocate yourself.
Exactly.
Ask questions. I have found when I've gone to the doctor, and I've been given a prescription, 9 times out of 10, if I ask the question, do I need to take this? The answer is no.
Exactly. You see.
I've had a few times where he's like, yeah, you absolutely, positively have to take this.
Definitely.
But almost 9 times out of 10, the answer is like, no, you don't really have to take it.
Yes. So
ask questions. So they educated you, which is really good.
We did meditation. We talked about depression, what it looks like, where we are now, and where we want to be. What's gonna look like when we finish this class after, the 3 months ended.
Mm-hmm.
So we even had group sessions where we talked about what we're going through, and the counselor would listen to us, and we gave each other, suggestions as to what we could do. So 3 months I went through that. It was a routine, 8 to 4, Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. So that was my biggest support. Outside of that, I had family and friends. My church was very supportive. My pastor was very supportive. They were able to meet with me one-on-one and just speak into my life and just even call and check on me. If I was missing church, call.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
what's going
That's
on? Are you okay?
amazing.
Yeah, I just didn't want to come today. Just making sure, because they knew my story and they knew my symptoms, and they're
That's
like, if you
amazing.
don't see her, you need to check on her. And it's good to have somebody that checks on you. Have that one person that you're going to say, listen, I need you to really check on me. Call me tomorrow, text me tonight, something. And if I don't respond, you need to come to my house or something. Have somebody kind of accountable, but not so much. But you need somebody to really be there to push you and to keep you on track. And those were the individuals who I had to help me come out of my darkness in terms of my treatment.
That is absolutely amazing. I'm really happy to hear that your church was a part of that. I have been seeing a lot of mental health advocacy through churches. That moving forward, that modernization, and because I've seen the comments where, oh, it's okay, Jesus, just pray, and you'll be. Don't do that to people. Don't do that to people, and kind of still that underlying belittling, kind of almost like your faith is not strong enough, and that's why you're cracking up, kind of thing.
It's just like a cancer patient. You would never say to a cancer patient, shake it off, suck it up. So mental illness and cancer need to get the same respect. It's an invisible illness. You can't see it as you would like a broken arm, but it's there. And you need to
real.
treat
It's a real illness,
the
and the mind. Our mind is our most powerful thing.
Powerful.
So when your mind is sick, everything
It shuts down.
Everything else follows. So the fact that your church was helping you, you had the family support. Now you're starting to come out of it. You're coming out of your room, and you've gotten this treatment, but it really took something drastic for you to get the treatment.
Exactly.
So you're now saying, okay, I have to help other people, right? I want to help somebody else. And you decide to open. First, you said you were going to start with events.
Yes, just local events, one-off, one or two. But I said, maybe that's not going to be enough. Let's just do a charity where it's not just events, but we're doing speaking engagements. We're connecting them with counselors and counseling sessions, and maybe if they need funding to purchase prescriptions, we're doing that. So we went deeper.
You went deeper. Okay, so now tell me a bit more about this. Like, how do we contact you? How do you get in touch with Essence of Mind? Who does it serve? Who's eligible? How do we get in contact with this amazing resource?
Well, we have our website right now, which you can contact us. It's www.myessenceofmind.org. A lot of people search COM and we're like, we're organization.
Right.
So you can send us an email, let us know your situation. We do send the emails to, we're not professional doctors and experts. And so if we do get emails, we've often gotten times where we have emails of somebody who's looking for help. They need help like right away. We have professionals that handle those emails, and so we forward that to them to respond, because we're not doctors, we're advocates,
right?
We're volunteers. And so that's the main step, is our website. Let us know exactly what you're looking for, and then we connect you to that outlet.
And are you only serving within the GTA?
No, we are not. Yeah, we're based in Brampton. I would say it's founded in Brampton because that's where I am, and I started it there. But then we branched off into Mississauga, Toronto, and the further GTA areas. So yes, wherever you are, we do cater families, individuals. I would say our age right now is 18 years old and up. 18 and up, men and females. So,
men and women, and that's a whole other show, and I've actually already had a few. But men's mental health issues.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one because of many reasons, from nature to nurture, and you can argue every combination in between. But Our men are suffering more and more. The suicide rates are going up dramatically. And I'm very glad to know that there are programs out there that, because you're saying we're just volunteers, but the thing is that volunteers, like your mom and your dad and the people at your church, are the ones that make the real changes.
Yes.
And you need often to be connected with that professional. And, I've had people say, well, I don't know about talking to somebody and, but if you break your arm, you go to a doctor that specializes in bones. And if your mind has frayed or sometimes just straight up snapped or is under constant assault, you need to seek professional help. And they have tools that are beyond your reach. And I've been privileged to experience that where, and the thing is that often when you get the help, they'll tell you something and it's so basic. It's so like,
you're like, that's it?
Of course. But
you need that?
You need somebody who can put that together for you and
put you in the right direction.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they also give you the tools. I mean, a really basic one, and I won't have any therapists with money over this, is a simple breathing technique.
Yes, definitely.
That is probably the first thing
anxiety.
They teach you. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you are feeling anxious, if you are panicked, that is one of the simplest, easiest ways to calm down. So we will be back after this message. We'll be wrapping it up. She's going to tell us about her upcoming gala. We're going to talk a little bit about the book. And again, remind you how to get in contact with Essence of Mind. We'll be right back after this break.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back to this edition of What Matters, and I'm here today with mental health advocate Simone Walsh. You see her green ribbon. It is mental health. Is it Mental Health Month or Mental Health Advocacy Month?
Mental Health Awareness Month, and so green is the color of mental health. So I wear this ribbon for the entire month. Sometimes I wear it outside of the month, but it's very special to me.
Absolutely, and I'm very, very happy to meet you in person, Simone. I see your work online, I see your posts, and
Thank you.
And you're consistent, and you keep going, just like you did when they told you 3 times no. Yeah. And I think that really speaks to the strength that you were able to regain and even build upon after suffering from that ordeal. Yeah. So do you still work in the same institution?
No, I do not.
Okay, good job. Isn't it wonderful that you are also released from that desire? Like you had said before, you're like, I really wanted to work there and I didn't want to give it up. And I put my health before it. And interestingly enough, there's a little, it's kind of like an analogy, and it's presented in different ways, but it involves golf balls, pebbles, and sand. Okay. And a professor puts them in a jar. And if you put the golf balls in first, and then you put the pebbles, and then you put the sand, you can fit everything. But if you fill it with the sand first, nothing else will fit. Yeah. And the golf balls represent the important things in our life, like our family, our health, our happiness, our freedom. And then the sand is things like our phones and our hair and all the little, and we tend to fill our life with the things that are really least important, and we give them the most weight. And most of us work to earn money, and some of us are blessed to do what we love to earn our money, but the majority of people work to earn money. And if how you're earning your money is compromising your mental health, you need to step back. It's not worth it. And you have to work in love and not fear.
Yes.
So if you're afraid of losing your job and you're afraid of what's going to happen, you're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. You have to work in love of yourself, love of your family. And when that starts being your driving force, you can make different decisions.
Yeah.
So you had the fear of losing the job. I'm sure there was also the fear of, you just didn't want to be a failure, right?
No, I just didn't want to fail my family or myself. So I kept going. And that's what, it wasn't the big picture at the time. Had I looked at, okay, but you're not well, you're not eating, you're not sleeping, and so the balance was not there. And I didn't want to fail my family and myself. And so I kept going.
And so how long has it been since you've been through this ordeal?
Let's see. We are probably at 6-7 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
And you wrote your book how long ago?
In 2016, I wrote my book. But with my book, I actually started journalizing. That's another thing I would recommend, is to keep a journal. It helped me to release some of the things I was holding on inside, so with Recovery Journal. So I wrote a lot of poetry, and I brought it to my sessions with my therapist, and she would read some of them, and she said, your poems are quite good. And I thought she was joking. I was like, okay, it's dark, sad, I'm talking about her, what are you talking about? And she was like, no, it's good. Like, there's a transition, like, it's dark, but they're getting better. Like, when you first started with me, they were dark. But now that we're getting at the end of your session, there's light, and they're so softer. And she goes, you should look into publishing. I was like, nobody's going to want to pick up this book. And she was like, no, I'm serious. Really look into it. And so I took her advice, sent out a few manuscripts to a few publishers, and out of 15, one responded and said, listen, let's meet. You have a good book there. I would really like to help you get it out. And
there's so many lessons that Simone is bringing to us. Like, don't give up should be
Don't
like the
give up.
subtitle of this show, right? Like, don't give up. 3 times they're like, no charity, no charity, no
Exactly.
charity.
You
She
notice the
did
pattern.
it again. And 15 publishers. People send their stuff out to like one person or
And
2
that's
people,
it.
and they say no, and they're like, well, that's
That's
obviously not going to work. So
15.
amazing that you just keep going. And then now you've had the charity for how many years now?
The charity's in its 9th year.
Isn't it 9th year?
9th year.
Wow,
Ninth
9
gala.
years. So
Exactly.
you were still in treatment when you started then.
Well, basically, the charity was separate from what it is now. Oh, here we are. That's our committee/board members.
Okay.
But we started off small. We weren't a charity. We started to do little things in the community, but with the status and the gala, that's why it's 9 years, because of how long the gala has been operating.
going. And so the gala, explain to me a bit what it does. You have the gala, and it's to benefit.
Yeah,
it's a
to help
fundraising
raise-
gala.
Yeah, it's a fundraising gala, because we do programs, we do initiatives, and we survive on sponsors, and this gala helps us to bring programs. Recently, our last gala, we were able to raise enough money to put 2 programs out, a support group for men and a support group for women. And it's doing really good. And with that funding that we got from the gala, we were able to hire a psychologist to come in and operate these programs for us. And so it's free. You don't have to pay to come in and get help and speak to somebody. So our gala is a dinner and dance. It's a raffle. We often do a fashion show. You mix and mingle. You speak to individuals who have family members who have been broken by mental illness. And we're all under one roof, and we share that same common love and interest. So it's a fun time. It's coming up Friday, October the 4th, and we're so looking forward to it. We're inviting everybody to come to JCA Friday, October 4th. Tickets officially go on sale next month.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that. But
Well, you'll definitely see them on
Yeah.
my page if you follow me on Instagram or if you follow me on
Yes.
Facebook. Erica Lita, see, it's up there. And I always point wrong there. There it is. It's up there. So if you follow me when Simone posts,
yes,
I will definitely be sharing that out, and I will be at the
Definitely.
gala as well.
Yes.
To make sure that I show my support for
Definitely.
such an important cause. So before we go, what I would love is for you to give people, because we shouldn't just present problems, we got to present the solutions.
the solutions.
And so first, Simone, run us through some of the symptoms that might prompt you to seek help, and then as you say, you're not a therapist, but you know some stuff.
Yeah.
So you
basically
can
my
also
own
share with
experience.
us, some solutions until you can get the help
And the help that you
that
need.
you need. So
Yeah.
first of all, what are some of the symptoms? What are some of the things that you really need to look out for and be aware of that you might be thinking?
The biggest one is isolation. When you start to isolate yourself from others, you don't want to go out, you don't want to do anything. My sick call for work was high. I didn't want to go to work, so look out for that as well. Loss in appetite, loss in sleep. You lose interest in the things that you loved, it's like your light is now dimming. Those are some of the big things to look out for. And just being by yourself, that's another one. I was always alone. I ate alone at lunch, everything I did by myself. And it was because I was losing love for myself. I didn't feel worthy, and so I just isolated. To get help and to come out of that is to speak to someone. I didn't feel better until I started talking, and I found the acceptance, and I found out that I wasn't alone. When I shared my story with others, they're like, yep, I feel the same way. I've been through
Yes.
that. And you feel better, like, really? Oh my gosh, And so when you talk about it, even if it's you and somebody's sharing their story, you don't have to say anything, but just listening is
Yes.
just good. Just lend me your ear. I just want to talk. That's a key thing as well. And family support, friend support, very essential. Two things that I really relied on is having my family support me and my friends support me. When I came out with my book, that's when most of my friends knew what was going on with me because I didn't disclose. Because when my
To
book came
everyone.
out and they read it, they're like, why do I have to find out about this in the book? Why
Right.
didn't you call me? Why didn't you let me know? And I was like, but it was the fear and being ashamed and the stigma. So if you have somebody that's going through something, always be there for them. Just let them know that they matter. Just don't break them down. Lift up their spirits, call on them, check on them, visit them, take them out. Those little things make a big difference.
Yes, and reach out if you are depressed. And I know it's kind of almost an oxymoron, right? Because you're depressed and it's dark, but
Yeah.
sometimes just one little word, and we're like really tech savvy now. So
Yeah.
send a little text,
Especially
and
text.
check on me. It sometimes our pride and habit keeps us
Keeps us.
secluded.
Yes.
We
Try
we
and put
don't, or we feel that nobody, because that's what depression does. It makes you feel like
makes
no
you
one
feel-
cares.
Exactly.
But people care, and everybody does it differently. So if you're somebody who has someone in your life that's depressed, you don't have to fix it. Be there.
Be there.
Listen. Let them know that you're available to just watch movies or go for walks, or you'll come by. Those are the things that can make a difference. And in the comments under all the shares of the show, we're going to put the Essence of Mind link so that you can find Simone. Click on her link. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook.
Yes.
You can find her, and so is the program. Simone, I thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for
I
having
thank you
me.
for sharing. And you will be seeing Simone again with me because we definitely have some more work to do. So thank you for joining us. I will be back next week with Coach Drew. We will be talking a bit about grief. And if you have someone in the community that you feel needs the spotlight, that they're doing the things that matter, please give us a call. Have a good one. I'll see you next week.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help